You're in a calorie deficit. You're eating clean, you're exercising, but your belly fat isn't going anywhere. In fact, some days it feels worse. What if I told you that calories might not be the problem, that there are hidden traps in your hormones, your habits, even your gut's secret mechanisms that are keeping your body from burning fat, no matter how disciplined you are? In this video, I'll show you exactly why belly fat clings on, even when you're doing everything right, and more importantly, what you can finally do about it. So, hit subscribe if you're ready to stop guessing and start understanding your body. Because this might just change how you approach fat loss forever. Let us start with something you've probably heard 100 times. To lose fat, just burn more calories than you eat. It sounds simple. And technically, it's true. The law of thermodynamics says energy can't be created or destroyed, only transferred. So, if you're consuming fewer calories than your body needs to function, your body should pull from stored fat to make up the difference. That's the basic math behind weight loss. But here's the problem: your body doesn't work like a calculator. It's not sitting there doing arithmetic with your meals and workouts. It's a living, adapting, complex system that responds to signals, not spreadsheets. And when it comes to belly fat specifically, it's not just about how much you eat. It's about how your body processes what you eat. It's about your hormones, your stress levels, your sleep, your microbiome, and even your environment. So if you've been doing everything right, cutting calories, exercising, watching your food, and the belly fat still isn't budging, you're not alone. You're not broken. You're probably just stuck in one of the hidden fat traps that most people don't even realize exist. These are biological, behavioral, and environmental traps that can override even the best calorie deficit. In this video, we're going to look under the surface. We'll break down the 10 most common reasons why your body might be holding on to belly fat, even when you're technically eating less. Each one is backed by real science, not quick fixes or fitness myths. And by the end, you'll understand exactly what's going on, and more importantly, what to do about it. Let's get started. 1. Your body is in survival mode, adaptive thermogenesis. When you cut calories too much or for too long, your body doesn't just dip into fat stores and calmly burn them off. Instead, it adapts. It senses a potential famine and flips into conservation mode, a biological state called adaptive thermogenesis. This means your resting metabolic rate slows down. Your body starts burning fewer calories just to keep basic functions running. You might feel more tired, colder, and hungrier. But here's the catch: your calorie deficit may disappear without you realizing it. For example, let's say your maintenance level is 2,000 calories per day, and you drop down to eating 1,500. That's a 500 calorie deficit, right? Not exactly. After a few weeks, your body might lower your metabolism to burn only 1,600 calories per day. Now, your deficit is only 100, or worse, completely gone. That's why many people lose weight at first and then plateau, even though nothing changed on paper. Research from the National Institutes of Health shows that the bigger the calorie restriction, the more aggressively the body compensates. This is especially true with belly fat, which your body tends to preserve during stress or perceived threat, because it's a convenient storage site for quick energy during emergencies. So, what can you do? Instead of aggressive deficits, aim for smaller, sustainable ones about 10 to 15% below your maintenance level. Pair that with resistance training to preserve muscle, which helps keep your metabolism higher. And consider taking diet breaks every few weeks to reset your metabolism and give your body a signal of safety. Part 2, you're losing muscle instead of fat. Body composition trap. When you're in a calorie deficit, your body doesn't only choose to burn fat, it also taps into muscle for energy, especially if you're not actively working to preserve it. Muscle tissue is metabolically active, meaning it burns more calories at rest compared to fat. So, when you lose muscle, your resting metabolic rate drops, making it even harder to lose fat, especially belly fat. This is one of the most overlooked fat traps. People see the number on the scale go down and assume it's all fat loss. But if you're not strength training and not eating enough protein, a significant part of that weight loss could be lean muscle mass. And here's the dangerous part. Less muscle means a slower metabolism, which means fewer calories burned and a higher chance that the next calories your body stores go right to your midsection. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism confirms that muscle loss during weight loss can lead to increased fat regain, particularly visceral fat, the deep belly fat that surrounds your organs and is linked to heart disease, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation. So even if your weight is down, your fat percentage could be up. To avoid this, prioritize strength training at least 3 times a week. Focus on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and push-ups. These engage multiple muscle groups and stimulate muscle maintenance even during a calorie deficit. Also, aim for a protein intake of around 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. That gives your body the building blocks it needs to preserve muscle and keep your metabolism from slowing down. If your goal is a leaner body, don't just chase weight loss. Focus on body composition, how much of your body is fat versus muscle. Because the truth is, a smaller, softer body with less muscle isn't the goal. A strong, toned body that burns more fat even at rest, that's where real transformation starts. Part 3. You're underestimating chronic stress, the cortisol trap. You might be tracking your calories perfectly, eating clean, and exercising regularly. But if you're constantly stressed, your body could be working against your fat loss goals, especially around your belly. Chronic stress raises cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. While cortisol is helpful in short bursts, constant elevation has been linked to increased abdominal fat storage. And this isn't just anecdotal. Multiple studies, including a landmark one published in Obesity Research, have shown a strong connection between higher cortisol levels and visceral fat accumulation. This type of fat doesn't just sit under the skin, it wraps around your organs and is metabolically dangerous. Cortisol makes your body more efficient at storing fat in the belly area. It also increases cravings for high-fat, high-sugar foods, comfort foods. That's not a lack of willpower. It's a hormonal drive to soothe your stress. And here's the kicker. Cortisol also encourages the breakdown of muscle tissue, making it a double threat to your body composition. You lose muscle and gain fat, exactly the opposite of what you want. Stress doesn't have to come from trauma or chaos. It can be daily pressure, overworking, undersleeping, perfectionism, worrying about results, or not giving yourself time to decompress. These things keep your body in a fight-or-flight state that subtly undermines fat loss. So what can you do? Start by getting honest about how much stress you're carrying. Prioritize sleep 7 to 9 hours a night. Incorporate active recovery like walking, yoga, or stretching. Practice mindfulness, even for 5 minutes a day. And if your workouts are intense every day, scale back slightly. Too much high-intensity training can spike cortisol even more. Stress management isn't a luxury, it's a metabolic necessity. If you're not addressing your stress, you might be stuck in a loop where no amount of calorie counting helps. Reducing stress may be the missing link to unlocking sustainable fat loss, especially around your midsection. Part 4. You're not getting enough quality sleep. Sleep might feel like a passive activity, but it's one of the most powerful regulators of your metabolism and body fat. When you skimp on sleep, your hormones get thrown out of balance in ways that can directly lead to increased belly fat, even if you're eating at a calorie deficit. Lack of sleep affects 2 key hormones, ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin signals hunger to your brain, while leptin signals fullness. Studies consistently show that when you don't get enough sleep, ghrelin levels go up and leptin levels go down. This imbalance makes you hungrier and less satisfied after meals, which can lead to overeating even if you're consciously trying to stick to your calorie goals. Sleep deprivation also raises cortisol levels, adding another layer to the stress-fat connection we talked about earlier. On top of that, poor sleep impairs insulin sensitivity, making it harder for your body to regulate blood sugar and increasing fat storage. There's more. Deep sleep helps your body recover and rebuild muscle. When you don't get enough, you risk losing muscle mass, which slows down your metabolism and reduces your ability to burn fat. If you're routinely getting less than 6 to 7 hours of sleep per night, it's likely interfering with your fat loss. Focus on creating a bedtime routine that supports good sleep hygiene. This includes turning off screens an hour before bed, keeping your bedroom cool and dark, avoiding caffeine late in the day, and going to bed and waking up at consistent times. Improving your sleep quality isn't just about feeling rested, it's about helping your body regulate hormones and burn fat more effectively. Without good sleep, your calorie deficit might not translate into the fat loss you expect, especially around your belly. Part 5. Hidden inflammation sabotaging your efforts. Inflammation is your body's natural response to injury or infection. But when it becomes chronic and low-grade, it quietly disrupts many of the processes needed for fat loss. Even if you're eating less, ongoing inflammation can make your body hold onto fat, especially around your belly. Chronic inflammation affects insulin resistance, a key player in fat storage. When your cells become less responsive to insulin, your body struggles to manage blood sugar properly. This imbalance prompts your pancreas to produce more insulin, a hormone that encourages fat storage, particularly in the abdominal area. Research shows that people with higher levels of inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, CRP, tend to have more belly fat. These markers often rise due to poor diet choices, think processed foods high in sugar, unhealthy fats, and refined carbs, as well as stress, lack of sleep, and environmental toxins. Inflammation also interferes with hormones that regulate appetite and metabolism. It can blunt the signals that tell your brain you're full, leading to overeating. It can also slow down your metabolic rate, meaning your body burns fewer calories at rest. Reducing inflammation requires a multi-pronged approach. Eating a diet rich in anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, fatty fish, nuts, and berries is essential. Regular physical activity also helps lower inflammation. Managing stress through techniques like meditation or deep breathing can make a big difference too. If you're not addressing inflammation, it could be a hidden reason why your belly fat sticks around despite your efforts to eat less and move more. Tackling this quietly disruptive factor can unlock better fat loss results and improve your overall health. Part 6. The impact of sleep deprivation on belly fat. Sleep isn't just a time to rest it. It's a critical period when your body regulates hormones that control hunger, metabolism, and fat storage. When you don't get enough quality sleep, your body's balance is thrown off, making it harder to lose belly fat even if you're eating fewer calories. Lack of sleep increases levels of ghrelin, the hormone that signals hunger, and decreases leptin, which tells your brain you're full. This hormonal imbalance can make you feel hungrier and less satisfied after meals, often leading to eating more than you realize. Scientific studies have found a strong connection between poor sleep and increased abdominal fat. One study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that adults who slept less than 6 hours a night had significantly more visceral fat, the dangerous fat that surrounds your organs, compared to those who slept 7 to 8 hours. Sleep deprivation also raises cortisol, the stress hormone. High cortisol levels encourage your body to store fat in the belly area and can also increase insulin resistance, making it harder to burn fat. Improving sleep hygiene is key. That means sticking to a regular sleep schedule, creating a dark and quiet environment, avoiding screens before bedtime, and limiting caffeine and heavy meals in the evening. If you're skimping on sleep, no calorie deficit alone will give you the belly fat results you want. Prioritizing restful, consistent sleep will help rebalance your hormones and make fat loss easier and more sustainable. Part 7. The role of chronic stress in stubborn belly fat stress is one of those hidden factors that quietly sabotages your belly fat loss efforts. When your body perceives stress, whether from work pressure, family issues, or even financial worries, it triggers a hormonal response designed for short-term survival. But when stress becomes chronic, this system backfires. The main player here is cortisol, often called the stress hormone. Elevated cortisol levels tell your body to hold onto fat, especially around your midsection. This is because, evolutionarily, belly fat provided a quick energy reserve during times of danger. Today, however, constant stress keeps cortisol levels high, encouraging fat storage rather than fat burning. Scientific evidence supports this link. A study published in Obesity found that people with higher cortisol levels had significantly more visceral fat, even when controlling for diet and exercise. Another research paper in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that chronic stress impairs fat metabolism, making it harder to lose weight despite a calorie deficit. Stress also influences your behavior. It can lead to emotional eating, cravings for sugary or fatty foods, and poor sleep, all of which contribute to belly fat gain. Moreover, stress may reduce motivation to exercise or lead to fatigue that makes staying active more difficult. Managing stress effectively is crucial. Techniques like mindfulness meditation, deep breathing exercises, regular physical activity, and ensuring time for hobbies and social connections have all been shown to lower cortisol levels. Even small lifestyle changes can help break the stress-fat connection and support your belly fat loss goals. So, if you're eating less but still gaining belly fat, consider stress as a key factor. Addressing it not only helps your waistline, but also improves your overall health and quality of life. If you've been cutting not calories, but still see that stubborn belly fat hanging on, it's clear that the story isn't just about how much you eat. Hidden factors like hormone imbalances, chronic stress, poor sleep, and even the types of foods you choose can all work against your efforts. Understanding these fat traps is the first step to overcoming them. By addressing these underlying causes, not just focusing on calories, you can start to see real change. This means prioritizing quality sleep, managing stress, balancing your hormones, and choosing foods that support fat loss rather than sabotage it. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into health topics that actually make a difference. And if you want personalized tips or have questions about your own journey, drop a comment below. Let's tackle these hidden fat traps together and get you on the path to lasting results.